Hi everyone. In today's video I'm going to be looking at 3 different Paragon banjos, each running different banjo heads, and the aim of this video is to compare the sound of each of the 3 banjo heads. So on the first one we've got a top frosted white Remo banjo head. This is actually a Banjo pickup banjo head, so there is a pickup mounted here as well. I have found that that's not really modifying the tone that much from any normal Remo white top frosted head. So we've got that one. Next up we've got another Paragon here which is running a Remo Renaissance head. And the third one is my normal everyday banjo, another Paragon running a clear Remo head as well. So I'm going to play a tune, the same tune on all 3 banjos, so that you can have a listen to the difference between the banjo heads and the effect that that has on the tone. And I'll talk a little bit about each head after that as well. I will also just say at this point that you'll notice, any of you audio engineering people out there, that this video is recorded in mono. And that is because I am using a measurement mic to do the audio recording for this video. The reason I'm using the measurement mic is because of its largely flat frequency response, which means that the sound you're hearing is as accurate as possible to what these banjos sound like. So hopefully that can help you make the decision about any banjo heads that you might want to use in the future. Do keep in mind as well though, before we get started, that there are a number of things that contribute to the different sound of a banjo. So we're keeping the 3 Paragons here, I'm keeping it as equal as possible, but do keep in mind that things like head tension, also the type of bridge that you use, is going to have a massive effect on the tone as well. I am using the Herdem plectrum on all 3 banjos as well, so that should be equal between them all, but just do keep in mind that there are some differences in head tension and also the bridges as well. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to start with the white top frosted head. The white top frosted head is probably one of the most common banjo heads that you're going to see around, both for tenor and 5-string banjos. Very popular in bluegrass music as well. Let's have a listen. White top frosted head. Next up, we're going to try the Remo Renaissance head, okay, which is it's not a frosted head, it's somewhere in between. You can kind of see through it. It's got a nice sort of warm color to it. Let's have a listen to what it sounds like. Remo Renaissance. Lastly, my everyday banjo running a Remo clear head. Alright, so let's have a little bit of a talk to you about the properties of the different heads. I will start with the clear head. Personally for me, I love the sound and the look of the clear head on the Paragon. It's a really bright, sort of snappy tone. People throw that word bright around a lot on the internet about clear heads, but for me, snappy and crispy is a really good description. It cuts through if I'm playing in a session, but it's got a lot of room to move as well. So if I want to hold back on it, I can play quite quietly. Or I can really tear into it. So there's a lot of dynamic control available on the clear head. Some people don't like them. Some people find them a little bit too snappy. If you like a bit of a darker tone color on your banjo, if you like a bit more of a mellower or a plunkier sound, clear head maybe isn't the best choice for you. For me personally, I do like a snappy sort of aggressive banjo tone, and the clear head works really well for that for me. Let's have a talk about the Renaissance head. I'd never really played with Renaissance heads very much until recently. I ended up doing up a banjo for a friend of mine. It was a 1920s Windsor banjo, and it had a bit of a different sort of head size. I think off the top of my head it was 10 3/4 inch head size. It was really hard for me to find any heads in stock in that size. I was just going to put a typical white top frosted head on it, but I couldn't find one in stock anywhere. The only one I could find in stock was the Renaissance head, so I thought, okay, we'll give that one a go. And when I put it on that Windsor banjo, I just really liked it. It gave a really nice sort of tone color. The look of it suited the banjo as well. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to order an 11-inch one. I'm going to chuck it on a Paragon and have a listen to it and see how it goes. I liked it for a while. I'm a little bit over it now personally. It's definitely a darker tone, which is interesting because it's actually one of the thinnest banjo heads you can get. But I do find it is a bit of a darker tone, certainly more like a natural skin head, not quite as much as the fiber skin heads that Remo make, but certainly moving in that direction. So it's quite a darker tone to the clear head, which is more what I'm used to. You do have to run these quite tight as well, and I found that they are quite stretchy. I had to tighten it up a couple of times after fitting it to this banjo because it did, as it settled in, it did loosen up a little bit. When it loosens up, it gets quite dark and sort of floppy sounding. So if you are using a Renaissance head, do keep that in mind. You might need to give it a tighten up every now and again just till it settles in. It seems to be a bit more of a stretchier material than the other banjo heads that we're used to using. So it's got a great tone to it. It's got a good look, particularly on a vintage banjo. You can see through it just a little bit. It gives a more, I guess, natural skin head look to it. But yeah, I'm going off the tone of it a little bit myself. I probably wouldn't use a Renaissance and a Paragon again for a while, just personally. But keep in mind, banjo tone is a very personal thing. You might love it. Last but definitely not least, the white top frosted go-to banjo head as far as plastic heads go. Many banjos come fitted with the white top frosted head. Many people absolutely love the white top frosted head, and there's a reason for that. It's a great all-round tone. I really like it, and I don't think you'll find many people that wouldn't be happy with the sound of a white top frosted head. I'm a little bit fussy, and I like the look and the snappy tone of the clear head, which is why that's what I run on my normal everyday banjo. but there's absolutely nothing wrong with the tone that I'm getting off a white top frosted head. It's snappy, it's bright, but it's not too bright. It's certainly got a lot of dynamic control. It's got good sustain, and there's a little bit more complexity to the sound, particularly in the low end. I won't use the word bass because banjos don't truly produce bass, but definitely in the low end part of the sound, we've got a lot of snappiness there as well. So nothing wrong with these white top frosted heads. They're a great go-to. And if somebody comes to me asking me to do up a banjo or do a banjo setup and there's a head change involved, I always have a discussion with them about what kind of head they'd like to go with. And if they're not familiar with the different sounds of the different heads, or they're not quite sure what they want to go with, the white top frosted is always sort of my recommendation, because it's somewhere in the middle between something darker like a Renaissance, or even darker like a fiber skin, and something really bright like your clear head. So it's kind of a middle ground, and you can get, you know, they're popular for a reason. You can get a great range of tones out of them, and they sound good. And they also give that traditional banjo look as well with a white head, which many people go for. This one is a Cavanjo pickup head, so there is a small pickup mounted underneath these dots here. I haven't found that it's altered the sound of this head too much, probably because of the position of the pickup further up towards the neck. But just keep that in mind, that if you are running a normal white top frosted head without a Cavanjo pickup, it may sound a little bit different. If anything, it'll probably be a little bit louder because you haven't got something touching the head. So which one do you prefer? Let us know in the comments. Hopefully this video has been quite insightful for you if you're thinking about changing your banjo head or getting a banjo setup done and you wanted to have a bit of a listen to what the different heads can sound like on 3 of the same model of banjo. Alright? As I said earlier on, do keep in mind that you can change your tone with things like different bridges and also head tension and tailpiece angle as well. So this is what I love about the banjo. There's so many things that we can change to modify the tone so you can find the tone that you are looking for. But yeah, let us know in the comments, which one do you like the sound of the best? And don't forget to subscribe to Born for Banjo for plenty more Irish tenor banjo videos and lots more content. Have a great day.